Hello everyone, welcome back to Online Study for You. My name is Monisha and today we are going to dive into some story-based problems. Now why story-based problems? Well, TCS is known for asking story-based problems a lot. Why are these story-based problems so important if you may ask? If you see, the questions in story-based problems are such huge. So it takes me 2 slides to write the questions. The first thing that the student gets confused in is they read the first line and then when they come to the last line to think what the question is asking, they forget what the first line was. So that is why the practice for story-based problems is important so that you scan through what the question is asking rather than understanding the whole story. So that is why we are going to see two story-based problems today. And these type of questions are always asked in TCS NQT. We are going to see all of the three programming languages, Java, C++, and Python. But mostly I'm going to code in Java itself. I'm going to do some live coding and show you how, some live debugging we could do. So what's the question saying? A furnishing company is manufacturing a new collection of curtains. The curtains are of two colors, aqua, which is denoted by A, and black, which is denoted by B. The curtain's color is represented as a string str consisting of A's and B's of length A. So there is a string which has A, B, A, B, A, B, B like that, which is of length N. Then they are packed, which is the substring, into L, number of curtains in each box. So L, we know, is the number of curtains in each box. The box with the maximum number of aqua-colored curtains is labeled. So the maximum number of aqua-colored curtains, the box which has the maximum number of aqua-colored curtains is being labeled. The task here is to find the number of aqua-colored curtains in the labeled box. What is the question saying? There is a furnishing company which manufactures curtains of two different colors, which is aqua and black. We have our input as str, which is a string which consists of A's and B's of length n. Out of this string, we have divided this string into substrings of length what? L, which is the number of curtains in each box. So that is the length of each substring, so the length of each boxes. What is the question asking? The question is asking me to find the number of A's present in one of the labeled boxes. Which box is labeled? Which has the maximum number of A's. Now let's see what the note says. If L is not a multiple of n, the remaining number of curtains should be considered as a substring too. So that means we'll see in the example. In simple words, after dividing the curtains in sets of L, any curtains left will be in another set, that is in another box. So if you see the example, we'll understand. So this is our str BBB AAA BABA. This is our str, that is all of the curtains are kept one after the other of different colors. What is the value of L given? That is 3. That means we will have boxes of size 3 each. What is my output? 3. That is the maximum number of A's. How did we find that output? Let's see the explanation. From the input given, we are dividing the string into sets of 3 characters each. So there is the length of the characters inside my box is 3. How can we divide it? First BBB. So set 1 is BBB. Next comes AAA. Set 2 is AAA. Then comes BAB. Set 3 is BAB. Now, what is left? A. What did my note say? If L is not multiple of n, so obviously the size is 3, 3, 3, 10. So that means the size is 10, L is 3. Is 10 a multiple of 3? No. What is remaining? 1. So that one curtain will be put inside a different box. So this A is the leftover character also taken as another set. Among all the sets, set 2 has more number of A's. Obviously, we can see that set 1 has 0 A, set 2 has 3 A's, set 3 has 1 A, and set 4 has 1 A. So, which has the highest number of A's? It will be set 2. So, the number of A's in set 2 is 3. Hence, the output is 3. Okay. Now, example 2 we can see. Okay. This is A, B, 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 A, A, B, B, B. I can see there is a issue over here. We'll fix it quickly. Okay. So there are 4 B's. So what will be my set 1? Since my value of L is 5, what will be my output? 2. How am I getting 2? Set 1 has A, B, 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 B. That is my 5 characters. Set 2 has A, B, B, B. As you can see, it is a multiple of 5 only, it's 10. So there are 2 sets. Now among these 2 sets, set 2 has the higher number of A's, we can see. So the number of A's in set 2 is 2, hence the output is 2. Obviously, there will be some constraints. It's not necessary to see those constraints right now. It's written that L can lie between 1 to 10, N can lie between 1 to 50. So this gives us an idea of what should be our time complexity. So these things we don't need to remember. Input format for testing, write code to accept. So this is our input format given. So we have to write a code to accept 2 integers separated by new line. So that means in the next line, I will take my entry, not space separated. First input, accept the string that contains character A and B only in one line. Second, accept the value of N, that is my positive integer, that is L or N you can say. The output format for testing would be, we will enter our message in the problem statement as given, and then our output will come out. Now, before we go to the code, let's see the dry run of it. We have taken this as our example value, which is B, 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 A, B, A, B, as I said. Now, how are we dividing it? Well, how to find the 3, L is 3. So how to find the blocks, the chunks, how to divide it? It's very simple, right? If I modular L equal to 0, that means our new set will start. So until and unless I modular L equal to 0, our previous set will continue. What is the ideology behind this dry run? First set is 0 to 2. Why? 0, 1 and 2. 3 elements. L value is 3. So characters would be B, B and B. Substring is B, B, B. Count of A is 0 over here. And maximum so far also, we'll compare count and max, we get 0 only. Next set, how does it start? The moment it will find this index number 3, it will do 3 modulo 3. That is I modular L. 3 modulo 3 will give me 0. That means my second set has started. The moment this second set starts, I will again compare my max value, obviously, whether my max has been higher or not. If it is not higher, then I'll keep the max as max.max I'll do, and I keep the max as it is. And since a new set is starting, I need to reset my count value. Count of what? The count of A, which we had taken. So I will reset it A, substring is A. Now count is 3, from 3 to 5, 3, 4, 5. This is the second set. And the maximum so far is 3, because now this is my count, 3 is my count. So the moment I go to 6th index, again 6 modulo 3 gives me 0. The remainder is 0. So that is why the third set will start for 6, 7 and 8. Again I see the count is 1. So what will be my max? Max will remain 3, right? Because in the second set we had found that my max is 3. So when we do max between 3 and 1, we get 3. So my max remains 3. Now we go to the last index, which is 9. 9 modulo 3 is also equal to 0. So it is a multiple of 3. So now we come to the last element. Now there is a catch. I got my last element, which is A. Count of A is 1 right now. Now, okay, let's start the coding instead. If I code, there will be a better way to explain you what is happening. Okay, before we go, dive into the code, let me give you a rough introduction to our course, the TCS NQT crash course. Now, as you know, this is one of our best courses in online study for you. And obviously, it's at a very minimum price. Why is it one of the best courses? See, if you see in the content section, you will see multiple things in our course. Why? You see the DSA white book, which has multiple DSA questions in all CPP, Java, and Python codes. And if you see each section, like recorded videos, quants, reasoning, verbal coding, 706 videos are there. If you see live classes, 79 live classes are there, 17 mock tests are there, practice set is 49, English is there, then live class recording from old batches is also there, which is 406. Now let's say this recorded videos, if I open, and then there is the programming videos section. In only in programming you have 527 videos. If I open this, what is it? This programming section again has C programming, data structure, DSA in Python, C++, Java, everything is separate. If I open the C++ section, you will see it is again divided into so many parts. There is one C++ complete course, practice problems, quick revision. Then if I open this Java part, you will see that there is DSA from lead code problems, then core Java and DSA, everything is there. From each data structure you will find over here. Stack, queue, everything is present over there. So I would highly recommend you to purchase this course, because you can obviously prepare alone, but I think if you take this course, your preparation journey would become very easy, because there will be teachers to guide you. You need a guidance. You cannot just go on in the internet and keep searching for what to do next, what to start studying next. If you purchase a course, you get a structured version of things, structured way of learning. For example, first you see how to take the input, then you will see the PYQs, then you will go to DSA and learn DSA questions, then you will go to the practice set, then you will learn the mock, see the mock videos, okay? Then in the live recording also, if you see old live recordings from our Zoom classes are present over there. So yes, it is very much recommended that you take this course. And if you see, it's a 40% discount we are giving right now. So please think about it and then purchase the course. Okay. So now we will see the why I'm writing the code live. You might ask, I already have the slides prepared. I already have the code written over here. But I still prefer to go live, because if I make some, let's say, syntax error or any kind of error while teaching you, I will be able to debug it live right now, and I will be able to show you that, okay, if I made this mistake, then how will I rectify this mistake? But if it's on PPT, I will not make mistake, right? So I don't have a way of showing you that how I rectify my mistakes. You learn from your own mistakes. If you see my mistakes, you'll learn from my mistakes as well. Okay. So what is the input format mentioned over here? Code to accept two integers input, and second input will be my value of n, or I'll take L over here because the L is only mentioned in the question. So first of all, in any Java code, obviously for taking input, you'll have to write scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. Why system.in? Because we are taking input from the system. This scanner class is creating its object sc. Using this object, we will take the input. How we'll take the input? By calling the inbuilt methods. We'll see how. First line would be taking the string input, inside which your A, B, B, everything will be there. So string str equals to sc dot next. Now, why am I not writing next line, and why next? You are not giving any space separated inputs, right? You are just giving everything like this. So it will be A, B, B, A, B, A, B. It's not, and not A, B, B, A, C, like that. It's not like that, right? So it's not space separated. That is why we don't need the next line. What is the next input? The next input will be our L. So it will be of int L equals to sc dot next int. Now the inbuilt methods which I was talking about is this next, sc dot next int. These are the inbuilt methods which this object sc is calling. Now we will iterate through our array. Why? We will iterate through our string, not array. Why? Because each character we get, we will see whether that character is A or not, and then we will count it. But over here, did you see the dry run? I have written I modular L equal to 0. So first check would be my chunking. How do I chunk my array? So first I have to divide my array, not array, I mean string. String is an array of characters, as you know. So how do I divide my string into these chunks? So I will write the check for it. If I modular L equal to 0, only then I will do what? I will, so there is one max variable also I need to declare, and count variable. Int max equals to 0 and int count equals to 0. This count is for the A value basically. So if my I modular L equal to 0, I'll see if my max value is equal to count or greater than count or less than count. So I will compare it with my count. If this count is greater than my max, then obviously this count will get stored in my max. But if max is greater than count, then this max value will be stored inside max, or it will not change basically. And this line indicates that we are starting a new chunk of size L. Since we are starting a new chunk of size L, what will we do? We will reset this count, because obviously for the next chunk I have to calculate how many A's are present over there. Now after this resetting is done and calculating the max is done, that means we have started our okay. So after this resetting is done, sorry, my laptop went down. After this resetting is done, we are starting our next chunk. That is what it signifies. So if we are starting our next chunk, what will be the first step? We are going to see if my character is A or not. How to check that? If my str dot caret index I is equal to A, then we'll do count plus plus. So this will continue to count my count whether my character is A or not. If it is A, it will do count plus plus, else it will not. Now, there comes the important step after for. See, this last step which I said, you need a different max for this set. Why? A different max check for this set. What did we do over here? We are checking if our chunk is restarting or not. That means our next chunk is starting or not. So this last value, this A value, this is the last chunk, it has started. Okay. And my count is now 1. But how do I compare it with max? It is not going inside this chunk again, right? Because there are no more chunks left. So we don't have a method, a way to compare it again inside this loop, this chunk, this block. That is why we write a different implementation again. So again, we will check if math.max is compare it with max and count. Again, if this new count, that is the last chunk we took, if it is max, then we will store it inside max. Else the count will remain as it is and max will remain as it is. And we are going to print our max value because that is what was asked. That is the number of A's present over there. Okay, so let's give the input now. We will take this question's input itself. 3, right? B, and 3. Now let's run. Okay, I have made a mistake. See, that is why I'm doing live. As I continued saying array, I got confused and I wrote str.length. It is not an array, it's a string. And for string, you use dot length. This is exactly why I'm doing it live and not from PPT directly. I have the PPT made, but I'm going to do it live because this is more efficient. If sometimes I don't have time, I will do it in PPT. So output will be 3 because as we saw that 3 is the max number of occurrences of A present over here in the second entry. Okay. So I've written over here as well, the loop updates max only when a new group starts. So the previous group gets checked then. So when a new group starts, the previous group's max gets checked. For the last group, there is no next group. That is why there is no, we don't enter that block again. That is why the last group's A would not be compared with max. So we do max.math.max again after the loop to include it. Okay. So yeah, this is the code. This is the code sc.nextInt. As I saw Java code we right now did, I will just take you through the C++ code once. So int main str, so obviously hash include iostream, hash include string using namespace std. We are inputting all the libraries, and string str because we are taking the AABB input, and int l, we are taking the input str cin and str cin l, and max count and count we are initializing at 0, and we are iterating through the loop I equals to 0, I less than str. And if I is modulo of L, that is, if we are starting a new chunk, we will calculate the max value. If the max is greater than count, we will not change the max. But if the count is greater than max, we will change it. And we will reset our counter variable over here, the counter for A. After we have done this max and reset, we will check if my stri, that is my character present on the ith index, is equal to A. If it is A, we'll do count plus plus. This will happen for the entire duration of the loop. Each time it will reset for the L value, the chunk, and each time we will reset our count value and keep on doing this. For the last iteration, since we don't enter this I modular L again, because we don't have another chunk next phase, that is why we do max equals to max comma count, and we print the max count and return 0. A second. Okay, we return 0. Now let's see the Python code. Again, str value, we know in Python there is no data type. We take input as it is in the form of string, and then it's string only we are taking anyway. For L, we take input and then typecast it into integer because it's in string. Dot strip so that we don't have any extra spaces. Max count and count we have initialized, and again we start a loop for I in range, length, and str value. If my I modular L is equal to 0, again we do that same max count, compare with max and count, and reset my count as 0. If my str value is equal to A, then we increment the count, happens for the entire duration. After it comes out of the loop, we again check if my max and the count, which one is greater. We set my max variable and then print it. Okay, now let's move to the second problem. Second problem is about Delhi's pollution. Okay. Particulate matters are the biggest contributors to Delhi pollution. The main reason behind the increase in the concentration of particulate matters include vehicle emission by applying odd-even concept for all types of vehicles. What is this odd-even concept? The vehicles with the odd last digit in the registration number will be allowed on roads on odd dates. Okay. So if your registration number's last digit is odd, then you will be allowed on odd dates. What does odd date mean? The 3rd of March, 5th of March. Okay. Now it's March. That's why I'm saying March. 15th of March. These are odd dates. And even dates, we know. And those with even digits will be on even dates. Okay. So that means my pollution on road will be reduced. Only half the number of cars will be present on the road on each day. Given an integer array contains the last digit of registration number of n vehicles traveling on date D, a positive integer. The task is to calculate the total fine collected by the traffic police department from the vehicles violating the rules. So what does the question say? What is your input format? First, we will take, so input format is given is, first line would be the value of n, that is the size of my array. After that, I will take this array elements as input, 5, 2, 3, 7. These array elements are what? The last digit of your number plate of your car. So from 0 to n minus 1 during each input separated by new line. Okay, it will be separated by new line. It's mentioned in the question. Next, we take 12. That is the value of D. That is the date of the month when you are traveling. So it is even date we see. And value of X is what? The fine. It is mentioned in the question. Not mentioned. We will see later on. It is written over here in the input format. So we know that the X is our fine. 200 rupees is our fine. Output will be 600. That is the total fine collected by the police on that day. How? It is an even day. So only cars with even number last digit in the number plate will be traveling. So odd, how many are there? 537. 537 are odd, that means 200 into 3. So they will take 200 rupees from each car. That means 200 into 3 would give me 600. That's what written in the explanation. Date D12 means only an even number of vehicles are allowed. File will be collected from 537 with an amount of 200. Hence, output is 600. Similarly, another example, let's see. Value of n is 5. That is the size of our array. 25168 is our array element. Value of D is, that is the date is 3. That means we are traveling on odd numbered date. Value of x, that is my fine, is 300. What is the output? 900. How? So only odd variables are allowed. Even variables are not allowed. How many even variables are there? 2, 6 and 8. So 3 even variables are there. See, 2, 6 and 8. So amount for each would be 300. So hence output would be 3 into 300, 900. Some constants are given. That is, n value can lie between 0 to 100. A value can lie between 1 to 9. And D value can lie between 1 to 30. It's a number of days in the month. And X value lies between 100 to 5000. That is the fine amount. So input format like this only it will be given in the question. Candidate has to write the code to accept 4 inputs. First would be accept for n positive integer value for A, where each value is separated by a new line. Third would be accept value for D positive integer. Fourth would be accept value for X positive integer. The output format for testing would be a positive integer number we have to enter for each input like that. And if no fine is collected, then we have to print 0. Do we need to see the guidance for this? It's a very simple question. Okay, fine. N is 4, array is 5 to, as we saw, like 12 is the date and fine is 200. First iteration, we find that vehicle number's last digit is 5. Is it even or odd? We will check. It is odd. So is it allowed on date 12? No. Only even digits are allowed. So it is not allowed. So it is violated. So we add a fine of 200. Then for 2, we again check. Is it even or odd? It is even. So is it allowed on date 12? Yes. Not violated. So we don't add a fine. Then next variable is last digit is 3. Is it odd? Yes. Allowed? No. So it's violating. So we add another 200. The total fine is 400. 7 is odd. It is not allowed. So we add a fine of 200 and the total is 600. Now let's see how to code it. Reset option is there. Yeah. Again, similarly for Java codes, as we know, for taking input, we will do scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. In TCS exams, you will not get this kind of interface there. You have to write the code from scratch. You will write import java.util.star class solution. I think it will be given. Public static void main string asks. If these exception are not needed, if you want to write, you can write. But I will say try to minimize whatever you are writing because their compilers are not that good. TCS, essentially, their compilers are not that good. So sometimes they are not being able to even read the input properly in the compiler. So it's better to write a very simple code. Okay, so scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. Now we'll take our input. What was the input format given? First we'll take n, then we'll take the array, then d, then x. So let's do that. N equals to sc dot extend, then it was the array. So we will first declare the array, obviously. Int arr equals to new int n and take my input. For int I equals to 0, I less than okay, we already have n, so we don't have to write arr dot length I plus plus, and we take the input arr of I equals to sc dot next int. Correct. After that, we take the number of days as input, sc dot next int, the date as input, and the fine sc dot next int. So everything is in integer. This sc object is calling our methods. Now, two more things we have to initialize, which are the variables for calculating even and odd number of days. So int even equals to 0 and odd equals to 0 we take. to calculate how many even number of, not days, sorry, how many even number of digits are there in the array and how many odd number of digits are there in the array. Now we will take a for each loop or any different kind of loop. Normal loop also you can take, but for each loop it makes your writing the code simpler. So for each a value in my ARR, what will I do? I'll check whether if it's even or odd. If a modular 2 equal to 0, that means it is even. So we will do even plus plus. Else odd plus plus. After we are done with this, we are going to see, okay, what is happening in this loop. We are calculating how many even digits are there, how many odd digits are there. For entire value in the loop, same will happen. First value will check if it's odd or even. Second value will check if it's odd or even. Third value will check if it's odd or even. Like that, our whole loop will be completed and we will have how many even digits and how many odd digits are present. If any number modular 2 is there, if it's equal to 0, it gives you even or odd, right? You know that. If it's 0, it will be even because the even number is divisible by 2. Now we have to check whether my digit is even or odd. So again I do d modular 2 equal to 0. That means my d is even. So if it's even, the even number of cards, if the cards with the even number in the last digit are allowed. So who will get the fine? The odd numbers. So how to take that? System.out.println the number of cards which were odd into my fine amount. Similarly, in else case, if the day was odd, that means if it was not even, we will find the cards with the even number plate. That is the number of cards with the even number plate into my fine amount. Okay. So now let's take the input. We'll take the same input as which was there. 4, then 5, 2, 3, 7, 12 and 200. Okay. 4. Now you will write 5, 2, 3, 7. Okay, let me write like this and then show you. 5, 2, 3, 7, 12 and 200. Let's try it this way and show you what happens. Oh, it executed. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, not like this. Let's write like this and show. We have not taken str. Otherwise, I would have showed what the issue is happening over here. People will take input this way, 5237, when they see the input in the question written in single line and not be able to figure out what is the problem over here. What does the problem point to? Java 14, which is my Java 14 ARR What is the problem saying? No such element exception. So that means there is no such element which we are entering. Why? Because we have taken sc.nextInt, so it clearly has to be a space or a next line. Next means what? Goes to the next line. So it has to be like 5, 2, 3, 7. This is the proper way of taking the input. It's clearly mentioned in the question that your input would be in the next line. So 4 is my size of the array, 5, 2, 3, 7 is my array, 12 is my the date, and 200 is my, what do I say, my fine amount. So 600 is my output. Okay, fine. Yes, so that was all for today's, no, not all, right? We have only seen Java code. I'm sorry. Let's show the C++ and Python code. C++ again, it's simple IOStream vector using namespace. We take n and n as input and then we declare our array. If my I equals to 0, I less than n, we take the cin of ARRI, that is we are entering our array elements. Then we take the d and x as input. D is my date and x is my fine, and we declare even and odd variables to count whether my number plate is even or odd. If int a of ARR, that is for each value in my ARR, this is a for each loop. For each value in my ARR, if that value is even, then we do even plus plus, else we do odd plus plus if it's odd. If my D value is even, that means only even cards are allowed, so we do odd into X. We directly print it, we don't store it in any variable. We directly print it, else if it's not even, that means if the day is odd, only odd cards are allowed. So we do take find from the even cards, even into x, and return 0 because it is int main. Okay. Similarly, for Python, we take the input in the form of string, obviously. In Python, it's always in string, and convert it into my integer. Now, ARR of list, again, we take the array elements in the form of a string first, input dot string. Then we convert it into a map of type integer in a list. Now we take the inputs of d and x in string and typecast it into integer. Initialize even and odd with 0. Start a for loop from a for each value in array and take the modular with 2 to calculate whether it is even or odd. If it's even, even plus 1, else if it's odd plus 1. If d modular 2, that means it is even, then we print odd into x, else we print even into x. Okay. Yeah. Now, again, I'll just give you a gist why the course is important before we end this video. See, you can prepare alone, but why a course is important is because it is in a structured way. You don't have to go on the internet and keep finding things. Even on our channel, we have a lot of things, a lot of videos for free, but you have to search there, right? We have a lot of things, but this has even more content. You can already, I don't even have to mention, there are 43 videos in 2024, recorded videos 706, live classes 79, practice set 49, mock test 17, English 10, AI workshop is there 10. This is not just a TCS NQT course, but it makes you prepared for your entire computer science, aptitude, reasoning, everything. Live recording is there, everything is there. In this particular course, you'll find aptitude, reasoning, verbal ability, coding in all the three major languages, C++, Java, and Python. There is also C programming in one of the segments. And obviously, from this course, we have had 10,000 plus selections in TCS. So it will be beneficial for you. You have to invest some amount to get something in return. Try it out. It will be beneficial. It will never go to waste. If you invest something, obviously, since YouTube, you're getting free content, and in the course, you're getting something better. Obviously, that is why we are charging. We have included some DSA book which has almost like 600 pages or so, 600 problems, these things. So you have to kind of think about some investment. It is consider it as a form of investment, and also it's at a very nominal price. It's at a 40% discount, so it's highly recommended from my side. So yes, please consider this course. And yes, that was all for today's video. We discussed two story-based problems which are always asked in TCS exams. And yes, thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video.
So, hello, hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. So, in this video, the agenda for today's video is we will be solving the story based problems that are most repeated and the pattern of story based question. How do we approach story based questions in any competitive exam, maybe TCS or something, but it would be TCS centric exam because majority of these service based companies asked these story based questions. So, for us, as we know the pattern, we will get two coding questions, right? We'll be having two coding questions. So in that two coding questions, we need to solve two coding questions to get prime package, and also at least one and a half for the digital package. So today we will be discussing the story based questions. Okay, story based questions for story based questions for NQT, right? So let's move forward to the next question. And previously I have already made two videos on the repetitive data structure questions based on array strings. We also discussed a few data structures like heap, maps. We discussed many other things we have discussed. And I will be planning to taking a session on bit manipulation and everything. So let's, with no further ado, let's dive into the story based questions. So let's see what is the question number one saying to us. Let's concentrate on question number one. So let's read the problem statement. The problem statement, the title is called as the smart elevator. So, okay, a company has installed a smart elevator in a 10 floor building, floors numbered from 0 to 9. The elevator starts at floor 0 you are given a sequence of floor request rules. There are set of rules, okay? So before that, let's understand, before going into the rules, so let's understand there is a company, okay? Let's say this is a company and it has few floors in it. Floors, they are numbered from 0 to 9. There are 10 floors in a company and they have installed a, let's say this is an elevator. So this up to here the problem statement is clear. Now he is building the story. Like what are the rules in it? The rules are, if the requested floor is the floor which we wanted to go. So let's say I'm in third floor, and if I wanted to go at ninth floor, my requested floor will be of ninth floor and I am at currently at third floor. Done. So the rule is, if the requested floor is higher than the current floor, the elevator moves up. We already know that. And vice versa is also true, that if the requested floor, if I am at third floor and I want to go to the 0th floor, that is ground floor, then the elevator definitely goes down. These two conditions are very general and we know about them. So moving one floor, this is interesting. Moving one floor takes 2 seconds. So let me understand. I'm currently at third floor, okay? Here is 210. I'm currently at here, and if my request is going to the fifth floor, I want to go from third floor to the fifth floor. So crossing each floor takes us 2 2 seconds of time. That is, if I want to, if the time taken here is time 0, for fourth floor the time will be 2 seconds, and for the fifth floor going it will be taking 4 seconds, because plus 2 plus 2, that is what he is saying. So going from one floor to another floor will take 2 seconds, and stopping at a floor takes 1 second. That is, let me say, see, you are going from 3 to 4. 4 we are not stopping. It is not something like you will be also stopping at 4. See, let me explain it very clearly here. If I am at third floor and if I want to go to seventh floor, generally what happens is somebody will also be deboarding at fifth floor. That is not there in our case. So if I am there in current floor, then I will directly go to the requested floor. There are no intermediate halts. So when we stop at the requested floor, it will additionally take 1 second of time. So stopping is taking one time. So for this, the time would be something 3 to 4 takes 2 seconds and 4 to 5 also take 2 seconds. So 4 seconds, and additionally we are stopping at fifth floor, so it will take 1 second. So 4 plus 1, total 5 seconds of time we are taking to reach from third floor to the fifth floor. Done. So that is what the question statement. If the request is same as current floor, see, I am at third floor and I want to go to third floor, you will think 0 time. We are not in. No, this is wrong. Because if you press, it will stop for 1 second. So that 1 second time is also calculated over here. So the if you are at same floor and the requested floor is also same, then the time taken is 1. This is one of the important edge case. People generally miss this edge case in this question. So the motive behind taking this question is taking this edge case, that people generally think, if I am at the same floor and I want to go to the same floor, then there is no time taking thing. But he has said clearly that if the request is same as current floor, only 1 second, that is stop time. So what is our task? Our task is to calculate the total time to serve all requests in order. Very easy. So let's understand how we can solve. So this is a building, floors 0 to 9. We'll always start from the floor 0. We'll directly not go to the third floor, right? We'll always start from floor 0. So initially our total time initially our total time is also equal to 0, and we are at current floor. Our current floor is also 0. So let's say I want to go to the fourth floor. It would be something taking first floor, second floor, third floor and fourth floor. We are going four floors up. So it will take 2 seconds. So here we are taking 8 seconds, and additionally we are stopping for 1 second. So plus 1, 9. So it is not something like you will just get one request, you will get multiple requests. So we need to calculate the total time for multiple requests, and return the total time or return or print the total time. So the problem statement is very clear. We have understood what actually the question is asking us to do. So let's quickly write the code and understand what are we actually doing. So the one thing we are getting as input is the number of requests. So n represents the number of requests. So every we will take a loop and take the number of request input for every time. So I plus plus here current we are currently at current we are at current floor equal to 0. We are currently at 0th floor, and our total time currently is equal to 0 because we have not served any request. Done. So for every time we will get a request, so we will take that input as request. Done. Now the total time, how we are calculating, the total time is nothing but the current floor to the requested floor difference will give the difference between the current floor and requested floor. So if I am a third floor and if I want to go to the seventh floor, so 3 minus 7, that is minus 4. So we can handle that minus and positive by using the absolute function. So 7 minus 3 gives us 4. So reaching from third floor to seventh floor, first the difference is 4. So reaching each floor, crossing each floor takes us 2 time. So 2 into 4 gives us 8. So we can definitely do something like total time plus is equal to absolute of the requested floor minus the current floor multiply by 2. I hope it is very clear, because multiplied by 2 is why we are doing is from one floor to one floor it is taking 2 seconds of time. So after that we will halt at the required floor. So if I am from third floor to seventh floor, I went to third floor to fourth floor, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. When I finally reach at 7, the elevator will halt for 1 minute of time. Sorry, 1 second of time. So we can do a total time plus plus. And now, is this done? No, because we need to update our current floor. So we are currently at the requested floor. This is the simple code that we are required to write, and let print the total time and take something as input. Say take something as input. So if we see what is the input, so let's say 8 things are coming, 8 requests, and we are currently at 0th floor, 9 9 1 5 5 2 8. So let's say this is my input, and let's run and observe our output. So for current floor request, what I'm doing, current floor equal to request. So it would be current floor equal to request, right? So let's see, our answer is getting something as 68. Let us observe, are we getting 68 or not? So let me copy this, and let's go to the iPad and try run this case. Are we getting 68 or not? Is our logic correct? According to our code, we are getting 68, because maybe our logic might be wrong or code something might be wrong. Let's analyze and tally our output. If we get 68, then it is definitely correct. According to our code, it got set. So we are currently at 0th floor, and the total, let's say it as answer is 0. So from current floor, that is 0, we are going to 0. So the same floor, the difference is 0. 0 into 2 gives us 0. But do we increment something? Yes, because even if you want to go to the same floor, the lift will halt for 1 second. So we'll increase the answer by 1. Now my current floor is 0 only. Now from 0 to 9 we want to go. 0 to 9. What is the difference? That is 9. Difference is 9. 9 into 2 gives you 18. So 18 seconds is the time that you will reach from 0th floor to the 9th floor. That is 18 seconds, and additionally 1 second it will hold. So plus 1, that is 19. So it will be plus 19 will give you 20. So 20 is your current answer, and your current floor, you are currently at 9th floor. Done. Now you want to go from 9th floor to 9th floor. Difference is 0. It will only be incremented by 1. So this would be 21. Your answer is 21, and you are at currently at 9th floor only. Now from 9th floor to first floor, the difference is 8. 8 into 2 gives you 16, and additionally 1. So 17. 21 plus 17 gives you 38. You are with 38, and you are now in first floor, because 9 to 1 is calculated. From 1 to 5 you want to go. Difference is 4. 4 into 2 gives you 8. 8 plus 1, that is 9. So increment by 9. This is 47 now. So, and your current floor, you are at currently at fifth floor. Now 5 to 5. 5 to 5, the difference is 0. Difference is 0 and it will halt for 1 second. So difference is 0. So you will just add 1. So it will be 48 and you are currently at fifth floor only. Now you want to go from fifth to second floor. Fifth to second floor, the difference is 3. 3 into 2 gives you 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So add 7, it would be 55. 55 and you are at second floor now because 5 to 2 is done. Now you want to go from 2 to 8. 2 to 8, the difference is 6. 6 into 2 gives you 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So add 13. 13 is 68. So according to our dry run, that logic answer is 68. Did we get 68 in our code? So 68 is the answer. So this is how we can simply solve this question by writing a simple code of piece of code and this. So if we can see some edge case that I talked to you, if I want to go to the same floor, then here the answer should be 5, right? 5 request is, it should be giving us 5. Let's see if it is working. So answer is 5. So this is how simply we can solve, and I am very sure that you have easily understood the code because I have also dry run and make you understand how actually things are working. So now let's move forward to the next question. So yeah, let's move forward to the next question, and this second question is something very interesting question and expects us to implement so many things. So you might think the question is very small and it would be done very easily, but it is not the case. What is the question saying? Let's understand the question very clearly. So the problem name is the digital locker system. A school locker has a 4-digit pin. Okay. So let me demonstrate it. It would be something like, uh, I hope my screen is visible. Yep. So there is a 4-digit so pin. So this is 1 2 3 4, 4-digit pin. For a school, if you want to, there is a locker, and if you want to access it or something, you need to provide that pin. So to open the pin, so like there is a algorithm or something. If you enter it in that way only, the pin gets opened. The pin gets approved and the locker gets opened, or else it no. So the functionality is, so there is a student who tries to open the locker, and if he gives the input in this format, then the locker gets opened or else it is locked. So our thing is to just check either the what we say, the boy is a boy or girl, the student is able to open the locker or not. So let's see what is the functionality that the user is expecting us to solve. So a student enters a number. Okay, if the number contains exactly two even digits, so he is entering 4 digits, and if the what we say, the pin has exactly two, not more than two or not less than two, exactly two even digits, then okay, the first case got passed. Then the sum of digits is divisible by 3. So if he do 1 2 3 4, what is sum of digit? 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 2 1 is 10. So is 1 2 3 4 a valid pin? Because it is having two even digits. 2 and 4 are two even digits, but is the sum 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 10, divisible by 3? No, it is not divisible by 3, so it is invalid pin and it is locked. The student is not able to open. So 1 2 3 4, it cannot be the same. If you give something like it should have exactly two even digits and the sum of that should be divisible by 3 and no digit repeats, that is you can't do something like 2 2 2 2, that is 8. It has more, it is violating everything. All characters are greater than 1, and also it is not divisible by 3, and it doesn't have two even digits also. So the input should be in some format that it should satisfy all these conditions, then the pin will be unlocked, or else it would not be. So we need to think of that test case and should write the code. So firstly, what the question is saying, I hope it is clear. The first condition was it will give you 4 digits. So the first condition, you can check if the input only provides 3 digits, then unlock. It will not unlock. If he gives 5 digits, it will not unlock. If he give 10 digits, it will not unlock. So This is the first case. And second case would be exactly two even digits. It should have exactly two even digits. Third case is sum of digits should be divisible by 3. Fourth case is no digit should repeat. If the student is that sharp enough, do you think he will write TCS NQT? No, right? So if the student is that much intelligent, he could have done something else. So the TCS people are expecting the students to solve this much. They want you to implement these many functionalities in one coding problem. So let's write the code, and when we dry run things, right, we'll understand. It is not that complicated. It is very simple problem only, but they are expecting us to solve many things. So the one and only thing that we'll get as input is the digit, that is the number that is entered by the student. So it would be something like 1 2 3 4. If it is 1 2 3 4, then we will check if 1 2 3 4 is valid or not. So this is about it. Now let's check. First thing is, if the uh, get number of digits of n, if it is not equal to 4, then just print invalid input n line. That is the exactly 4 only we are required to write. So if it is not equal to 4, we will just print invalid input and return. So we will stop the program there only. Then if another condition, we'll write this function. This is not an inbuilt function, we need to write that. If get, the second condition was get even digits. Get even digits. If get even digits is of n not equal to 2, then also we will provide, we'll say that it is an invalid input and return. This is one case. There are multiple things that need to be handled in that function, that we will also take set and everything. And if what we say, I guess we are good to right. If get sum of digits, it will get my sum of digits of n divided by 3. Let's divide it here. Okay, it will give me the total sum, and if we divide that by 3, and if it is not equal to 0, then we will here also will say it is invalid input, invalid input, and return 0 even over here, because it is an invalid input. Are we missing any case? Repeating case, right? The repetitive case, I think we can handle it. I think we can handle it in the upper case. So I think we can also include and get even digits and let's say and get number of digits is of n not equal to 4, then also will do. So I'm writing the rough code over here, or else any other case it will say valid input, valid input. Let's see, there might be some functional changes that we need to do. Let's write the code and understand if there are any functional changes. So firstly, we want the number of digits, right? It will return something. Int get number of digits of int n. In the previous video, I have already said that how do we get the number of digits. So it is very simple. Int get number of digits, we can do here. Yep. The repetitive task, we can write another function instead of doing set and everything here. We can first return just the number of digits. So int digits equal to 0, while n is greater than by 0, digits plus plus. I am not going to again repeat this here. This is already done in the last class. N by equal to 10, and last will return the digits. This will give me the number of digits. Okay. Int get sum of digits would be int n, int sum equal to 0, and my n is greater than 0 while my n is greater than 0, sum plus is equal to n modulo 10, n modulo 10, n by equal to 10, and here we'll get this sum, right? So get even digits is also something, right? Int get even digits is one function that we need to write. Let's say int even digits equal to 0 for, so why I'm writing for while n greater than 0, int reminder equal to n modulo 10. if my reminder modulo 2 is equal to 0, if my remainder modulo 2 is equal to 0, then if my last digit is equal to a number and it is divisible by 2, then I will do even digits plus plus. Definitely this is correct, even digits plus plus, and we'll do n by equal to 10 obviously, and return even digits. So these are few functions that we required, and is any bool get, let's, for 1 second let me comment everything. I don't think we need to write these many cases. We can do in a simple go. Bool get bool get what we can name same digits, right? Bool check, maybe bool check of int n. uh, it will int get number of digits of this n, and here we'll do of int st. Why I'm taking a set is I will insert all these values into the set, and I will compare my size of set with the number of digits. Yeah, so if the size is equal, then there is no repetitive things. So int original digits is equal to get, this will original digits will store my total number of digits that we have entered, and I will push these n values into that, and I will compare my set size and the original digit size. If both are equal, then there are no duplicates. If both are not equal, then we'll return a false. So what we can do is while n greater than 0, what we can do is int reminder equal to n modulo 10. The same function is used. I in the last class I said this function is very useful. We'll use so many times this function. That is what we are doing. So we can do st dot insert of reminder, and n by equal to 2 we can do n by equal to 10. Now we'll check if my st dot size, if my set size is equal to the original digits, then return a true, else return a false. I think I have implemented the whole functionality over here. So the overall functionality of the code, that is checking whether any character is repeating or not, getting the even digits, in getting sum of digits, and also getting number of digits, the whole functionality is written. Now we just need to just check if any condition is violating. So we can just do, first let's check for the what we say repeating things. If check of n is equal to false, or if any case fails, the input is invalid. So if check of n is false, then input is invalid. Or get number of digits, in get number of digits of n is not equal to 4, then it is also a false. And or get sum of digits of n modulo 3, because we need to check the divisibility, not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, then also it is a wrong input, right? So even this case will handle. Or last case is get even digits, and get even digits of n. If it is also not equal to 2, strictly not equal to 2, then we'll print, here we'll print invalid input. else here we can print valid input. Let's check for something 1 2 3 4. For this it should be invalid because sum of digits is not equal see, it is perfectly fine. So 1 2 3 4, let me go to the ipad screen. 1 2 3 4, first it will check for check function of n. So 1 2 3 4 will be passed. Here we are checking is any repetitive is there. No, it will not return a false, it is true. So this condition is where we are. So this condition is not violated, this is correct. So next we'll check for next we have written get number of digits, it will return a 4. So it will return a 4, right? Get number of digits, number of digits, this will return a 4. It is equal to 4 only, this is fine. Then we'll calculate the sum. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 gives us 10. 10 modulo 3, 10 modulo 3 will give us 1, which is not equal to 0. Here it is failing. So either of one false, then we'll either of one condition is true, then we will return a false, right? Because it is violating our condition. So we are giving a invalid input. Now let's go forward to a valid input. So what is valid input? Let's say 6 1 4 7. The sum is no repeating character is there. There are exactly two even digits, and sum 11 12 plus 6. This should give a valid. Let's see. This is perfectly giving valid. Now if I do F5, it should give invalid. It is invalid. If I remove two things, only give two things, 614, it should give invalid. So our functionality is working extremely properly. So this is was one of the very good question, and I would rate this a very good question because we are handling many things in this problem. So let's move forward to the next question, that is third number of question. So now let's move forward to the third question, the warehouse box arrangement. This is a greedy question. Before saying the question, we'll be already solving greedy type of questions also. So greedy is one of the algorithm. Okay, it is an approach where we generally sort our space. What is greedy is the name specifies, we always want to maximize things, maximizing profit, everything. This comes under greedy things. So okay, this question we will be solving using the greedy approach, greedy algorithm. So what is the question saying? The warehouse box arrangement. A warehouse receives n boxes, each having a weight. Okay. Manager wants to form pairs such that each pair must have equal total weight. Each box can be used only once. If impossible, print -1. So we will be given an input such as if we can form inputs, if we can form the pairs, then we need to return the number of pairs formed, or else we will just return a -1. So the input format is something like we will get the size of the array and n separated array elements. So these are the constants. Let's not go into the constants and understand what is the root cause of the question. So there are two test cases over here. Test case number 1, test case number 2. 1 2. So here the size n is equal to 8 and the values are 1 3 2 4 2 4 1 3. So what the manager wants you is, he wants to, if there are 8 elements, there will be 4 pairs, right? There will be 4 pairs, so that you can accumulate two things, two elements in a single box, and the box can only be used once, and the box sum should be same. So the approach is very simple. Sort it. These type of things, every greedy question you will do it by sorting. If you sort, it would be something like 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. Now you just compare if first and last sum, if we are able to accommodate it, then you will just do a answer plus plus. Then I is here, j is here. Again sum is same. Your sum will be just the minimum plus maximum. The min plus maximum will give you the sum, the initial sum. So 5, you the box, every box should have 5 size. So here 1 plus 4 is giving you 5, 1 plus 4 is also giving you 5, 2 plus 3 is giving you 5, 2 plus 3 is giving 5. The array is valid. So the number of pairs that you can form is 4. What if there was an extra 4 here, over here? This is one condition where you can directly return false without sorting the array, because when your n modulo 2 is not equal to 0. Why is this? Because if there are 9 elements, how can you make pairs among this? So if there are 9 elements, W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, W6, W7, W8 and W9. If there are 9 elements, okay. Let's say W1 and W2 got paired, W3 and W4 got paired, W5, W6 paired, W7, W8 paired. Who will W9 pair up? He is not the single, right? So if your element size is it is not divisible by 2, if it is not a even number, then you can definitely not do that. So let's understand for this case. So it was 6 triple 1 double 2 3, 6 triple 1 double 2 3, right? Here you will sort, it is already sorted. If it is already sorted, then the sum would be 4, right? Sum is 4. So you will make these two as pair, 1 comma 3 as one pair. Then you will make 1 comma 2. Is 1 comma 2 the size is same? No, the sum is not same. So here you will return false. Even here you will say 1 comma t. Here this 1 comma 2 is 3 sized, this 1 comma 2 is 3 size, but this 1 comma 3 is 4 size. But each and every box should carry the same weight, right? So this functionality only we need to do. It is very simple problem. We can just do it by sorting. So let me just we want the n size, obviously, and we don't everything, we don't need all this, so we can remove this. So we want a vector as input, right? Vector of int v of n, for int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, just take the input of v of I. Now we'll sort it, right? Sort v dot begin comma v dot end. Before sorting we can also check if before also, here only we can check if my n mod 2, what is n mod 2? If it is not equal to 0, then cout minus 1 here only and return as 0. We need not to proceed further. Then we are sorting it. Now in target would be v of 0 plus v of n minus 1. Definitely, right? The first element the first plus last would be our target. Now you will take two pointers, int I equal to 0, int j equal to n minus 1. int pairs is equal to 0 for, not for, while I is less than j, classical two pointer approach. Now you will just check if my v of I plus v of j is not equal to target, then straight away return a minus 1, cout minus 1, and L, and return a 0. Else do pairs plus plus. If it is there, then do a pairs plus plus, move your I pointer up, j pointer minus. At last you can do cout pairs. This is your answer. How simple the code was. Now let's take our input. What was it? It was 8 sized array. It was 8 size array, and 1 3 2 4 1 3 2 4 2 4 1 3. This was our array. So for this, that pair should be 4, right? We are getting 4, and I said at last I have added 9. For this it should return a minus 1 because the size is only not modulo 2 is. Why are we getting? Okay, we need to change the input size also. It should be 9. It is not taking 9 as part of our input. It will give minus 1 now. And if we do a 10 over here, now the size modulo 10 modulo 2 is giving us 0, but it will not form any this, right? It would be minus 1. So I hope this question is very clear, and I don't think so I need to even explain by dry running it, because it was a classical greedy question where the input is sorted and your target would be the first minus last, because you will always maximize, because when maximized output is only not getting acclimatized, then how can you put another things? So we are doing the sorting. then calculating the target. If any target, if any pair, that is v of I plus v of j, is not equal to the target, if they are not getting summed up to target, then we are returning minus 1. Let's also take that this case 6 1 1 1 2 2 3. For this it should give a minus 1 because the target is 4, but any other things will not get, because 1 plus 3 is 4, 1 plus 2 gives you 3. So this will return a minus 1. I hope this question is very clear. Now let's move forward to the next question. So let's move forward to the fourth question now. The fourth question is something like the power grid failure. So what is this question actually saying? A town has n houses in a row. Each house has a power consumption value. If three consecutive houses have strictly increasing consumption, the grid overloads. Your task: count how many times overload happens. Input format is given. So this is one of the easiest question. Let's understand what actually the user is saying us to. So this is the input given for us. So there is 9 size diagram and the input is 2 4 6 3 5 7 1 2 3. So if three consecutive houses, let's say this is as my house 1, consecutive triplet 1, this would be my triplet number 2, triplet number 3, triplet number 4, so on. So we'll just do 2 4 6 3 5 7 1 2 3. Now let's say this is as my triplet number 1 and this as my triplet number 2 and this as my triplet number 3. This as my triplet number 4. This as my triplet number 5, triplet number 6, triplet number 7. We need to count which triplet, how many times is the power grid output, that is power grid consumption, is getting failure. That if you see among 2 4 6 3 5 7 1 2 3, if you see it was 2, it was 4, again it went to 6, 2 4 6, 3 consecutive hike. We want to check the hike. If is there any hike between 4 6 3? If you plot, 4 is something here, it is 6 and 3, it is not a hike. Now you check 6 3 5, 6 is here, 3 came here and 5, it is also not a hike. So we want to see which elements, which triplets are causing that. One is for sure 2 4 6, 3 consecutive elements. You just pick a 3 triplet and check if it is causing a power consumption hike or not. 2 4 6, one of it is 2 4 6, and 3 5 7 is also one of them, and 1 2 3 is also one of them. So it is one of the very easy question. You can just do a, what we say, if condition, we can solve this. So we want a vector as input for int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. You can do c in v of I. Now you can just traverse in the array. I less than n minus 2 only I will go, because we can't do, it will be over the boundary, right? We will just check if v of I is less than v of I plus 1, and then is v of I plus 1 is also less than v of I plus 2, then you can just do answer plus plus. Here you can define an answer equal to 0, and at last you can just return the answer. For that our test case we had 3, right? 3 3 hikes, so it was 9 sized array. 2 4 6 3 5 7 1 2 3. The answer for this should be 3. A very easy code. We are getting -1. Why are we getting -1? I am not okay. This condition should be removed. I hope now it is very clear, and we will get 3 for this answer. So very easy thing. And if there is any 10 and 10, now you will get 4, because this is also one block. 2 3 10 is also a block where the hike is there. Very easy problem. Let's move forward to the next question. There is nothing more and interesting to describe about this question. It was very clear. Let's move forward to the next question. So let's move forward to the last question of today's discussion. So it is one of the good question, and we will be learning a new thing in this. So the problem number 5 is the message decoder. You will receive a coded message as a string. Each digit represents how many times do we need to print the next character should be printed. If no digit before character, print it once. So if you just see example, it is as 3a 2b 1c, right? So 3a, a should be repeated thrice, b should be repeated twice, and c should be repeated once. This is the simple sorry, this should be repeated once. So this is the input format. So we can definitely do something very easy for this. For this we are getting a string as input, right? Let's take a string as input. Extra base brace sk. So string s, same s. Now we'll traverse into the string. For I into I equal to 0, I less than s dot length and I plus plus. Now, first we'll calculate how many times is the string getting. First, we need to know whether it is a digit or not. There is a inbuilt method in C++. Is digit. Is digit is the inbuilt method. Is digit of S of I. It will check if the given number is a digit or not. Like 1, 2, 3. If it is a digit, then int count is how many times it is repeating. It would be something like S of I minus 0. If you remove that, let me explain what are we doing. So we are currently at here. So S of I is character 3. It will have some ASCII value. We are subtracting it with 0. It will give me the 3 as the input. That is, it is 48 and it would be 51. 51 minus 48 will give me 3. This is ASCII conversion. You need to know about this. So now I will just print it. Cout string of count comma s of I plus 1, the corresponding thing, and I will do a I plus plus. Else cout, if it is not a digit, just print it. Cout s of I. That's all. This would be a simple code. It was like 3a 2b 1c. It should be a b b c. A B B C. This is simple code that we have solved. So the main thing I took this question is to explain each digit function and also how to calculate the frequency. So ASCII conversions, you need to know that how to convert. There is two lowercase function, uppercase function, each digit, is lower, is upper, everything. So many functions are there. Here the string of this will do, it will print the number of occurrences of the next character. This the function will do that. So this is about today's class. I hope it was very clear, and let me know if we want to solve many other questions of this kind. So you can definitely comment for part 2, and we'll be taking that questions, and we will be solving about them. Thanks. I hope you clear and get any maybe prime or digital role. Thank you.